All right, so are you ready for this? We're diving into some pretty juicy celebrity news today.
Oh, yeah.
It's the whole Robbi Jaworski and Chiu thing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
So we've got articles, interviews, the whole nine yards.
Uh,
And trust me, this deep dive, it's way more interesting than you might think at first.
well, what's interesting to me is it's not just like your average celebrity crush story, you know?
Right.
It makes you think about fan culture and how relationships play out when you're in the spotlight.
Right.
And it even touches on a little bit of Philippine showbiz history, which is cool.
Okay, so for those who haven't been glued to their screens 24/7,
Right.
who is this Robbi Jaworski guy?
Yeah.
And why is everyone making such a big deal about him liking Chiu?
Well, for starters, he's already got a claim to fame.
Yeah.
He's the son of PBA legend Robert Jaworski.
Right.
But what's really got everyone buzzing is he's been very open about his admiration for Chiu.
Yeah.
He hasn't exactly been shy about being a fan.
And it seems like it's genuine admiration, not just trying to get his name out there, you know?
Oh, for sure.
One article even quoted him as saying, quote,
Oh, yeah.
Chiu isn't just beautiful, she's incredibly talented as well. She's truly an inspiring person.
Yeah.
End quote.
You know, I think it's interesting that he's specifically mentioned her talent.
Yeah.
You know, especially considering his background. His dad's a basketball icon.
Right?
He probably grew up surrounded by talent and dedication.
Yeah.
So for him to recognize those qualities in Chiu, it feels like it comes from a place of genuine respect, you know?
That's such a good point, yeah.
Yeah.
And it just adds like a whole other dimension to the story, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
And then there's that quote where he jokes about like, if they ever meet, he just wants to get a selfie with her.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, come on, even famous athletes get a little starstruck.
I know. It's so relatable.
Yeah.
It shows that, you know, even though celebrities seem larger than life, they're still just people. They get excited. They admire people, just like the rest of us.
Exactly.
It's nice to see, right?
Okay, so we know Robbie is clearly smitten,
Yeah.
but there's one pretty big elephant in the room, right?
Uh-oh. What's that?
Chiu is already in a very public, long-term relationship with Xi and Lim.
Right.
So do you think this whole Robbie thing could make things a little awkward?
Well, you know, one of the sources we looked at pointed out that Kim and Xian's relationship is really celebrated by their fans.
Oh, yeah.
And they often share these, like, sweet moments on social media and in interviews, you know.
Right.
So it seems like they're still very much in love.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay, so maybe there isn't a love triangle brewing just yet,
Maybe not.
but there is another name that kind of comes up
Uh-huh.
when we talk about Chiu,
Okay.
and that's Paulo Avelino, right?
Right.
He and Kim, they've been romantically linked in the past, so, you know,
Yeah.
some people are wondering how he feels about all this.
Yeah, I can see that.
Do you think this Robbie situation could ruffle some feathers?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It brings up this whole question of how do we separate celebrity rumors from the facts?
Right.
What do you think?
Well,
It's really easy to get caught up in all the gossip, right?
Yeah.
But you have to remember that these are real people
Right.
with real lives and relationships.
Yeah.
And we only see these little bits and pieces on social media
Yeah.
or in interviews.
Exactly.
It's not the whole story.
No, it's just a tiny part of it. And in this case, there's nothing that suggests there's anything more than just professional, you know, between Chiu and Paulo Avelino.
Yeah.
One of the articles even said that Paulo, being in the industry, probably understands how these things work
Yeah.
and wouldn't even be fazed by it.
Exactly. I mean, it's kind of like an unspoken rule in showbiz, you know? Celebrities, they often admire each other.
Yeah.
And, you know, a little harmless flirtation, that's just part of the game. But that doesn't mean there's all this drama going on behind the scenes.
Right.
I think people maybe read into things too much sometimes.
Well, and speaking of flirtation and admiration, this whole thing is really blown up on social media.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people are like, shipping Robbie and Kim, they think it's so cute.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
What do you think all this says about fan culture these days?
You know, I think it shows just how invested fans are in the lives of these celebrities.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they really want to see them happy.
Yeah.
They love to speculate about their relationships.
Yeah.
And sometimes they even try to, like, influence the narrative.
Yeah, it's like they're part of it.
I know. It's all part of the entertainment, and social media just makes it that much more intense.
Right. And it's almost like fans feel like they have a say
Yeah.
in these relationships, right?
Yeah.
Like they're really invested in seeing their favorite celebrities find love.
Yes. And it's funny because it touches on this whole idea of parasocial relationships.
Oh, yeah. Where fans develop this bond with a media figure, but it's one-sided.
Right.
Like, they feel like they know them personally, but obviously they've never even met them.
And with social media, it's like those lines get even blurrier, right?
Yeah,
because celebrities are sharing little pieces of their personal lives, and so fans feel even more connected. But do you think there's like a downside to that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, all that connection can be great.
Yeah.
But it also means that these celebrities are constantly being watched and judged.
All right.
Every post, every comment, it's analyzed and interpreted.
Totally.
It can be so intrusive.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to their personal lives.
Right. So back to Robbie and Kim.
Yeah.
Do you think all this attention, good and bad, could actually have real-world consequences for their careers or even their relationships?
I mean, it's something to think about.
Yeah.
We've seen how public opinion can change things in the entertainment industry, right?
Yeah.
But from everything we've read, Robbie and Kim seem to be handling it pretty well.
Yeah.
Robbie's been respectful in his comments.
Yeah.
And Kim seems to be focused on her work and her relationship with Sheehan Lim.
It seems like Sheehan is pretty confident in their relationship.
I think so, too.
He hasn't said anything about any of this publicly.
Right.
Which makes it seem like he trusts Kim.
Yeah.
And he's not threatened by Robbie.
Right. Plus, this kind of publicity, it's not always a bad thing.
No, yet at all.
I mean, it can actually help their careers.
Right.
It keeps their names in the headlines, creates some buzz, and that can lead to more opportunities.
It's true. So maybe this isn't a full-blown scandal.
I don't think so.
But it's definitely a really interesting look at, celebrity relationships and fan culture and how those things all intersect.
It is.
But, even though these articles focus mainly on Robbie's, admiration for Kim, and everyone seems cool with it, you have to wonder if there's another side to the story.
What do you mean?
Well, we really haven't talked about Paulo Avelino at all. And I know it's just speculation.
Yeah.
But is it possible that he might be feeling, I don't know, a little overshadowed or maybe even a little jealous?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It highlights something that's really important here. We're only seeing this tiny little part of the story.
Right.
We can, analyze their public statements and their social media posts all day long.
Yeah.
But we don't really know what's going on behind closed doors.
So we've got this public figure expressing his admiration for someone who's already in a relationship. And then we have this third party whose perspective we just don't know.
Right.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah, it is. It reminds me of that saying, there are 3 sides to every story. Your side, my side, and the truth.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
And in this case, we may never know the full truth. Probably not.
But that's what makes it so interesting, right?
Yeah, I agree.
You get to, fill in the blanks a little bit.
Yeah, draw your own conclusions.
And this isn't just something that happens in the entertainment world.
I know, not at all.
I mean, think about it. We all have crushes.
Yeah.
We all deal with complicated relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just when it's celebrities, it's all happening on a much bigger stage.
Right, exactly. It reminds us that, at the end of the day, celebrities are just people trying to figure things out, just like the rest of us. They have crushes, they deal with relationship issues, and they have to handle all the pressure of living in the spotlight.
So what do you think, listeners?
Yeah.
Harmless fun, a bit awkward, or maybe something more? Let us know.
Yeah.
This whole thing makes you wonder how many other celebrity crushes are out there.
Oh, I know.
That we never hear about.
Right.
It's like there's this whole secret world out there.
Yeah. Full of, admiration and attraction and all that.
Totally.
And we just get these little peeks behind the curtain.
It really makes you wonder, like with Robbie's comment about wanting to take a selfie with Kim. Do you think that could actually happen?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, they both work in the Philippine entertainment industry.
Right.
So their paths are bound to cross eventually, right?
Yeah, totally. And how do you think that would go? Would it be this quick, polite little thing?
Yeah.
Or could it be the start of, a real friendship?
Imagine if they actually did take that selfie.
Oh, my gosh.
The internet would explode.
I know.
It would be everywhere.
People would analyze every little detail.
Oh, yeah.
Every comment.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's really up to Robbie and Kim, right? Whether it's a viral selfie, a new friendship, or just a quick hello, it's their story.
It is.
This whole conversation has got me thinking about how these dynamics would be so different in other industries.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Like, imagine if a CEO publicly said they had a crush on someone who worked for their competitor.
Oh, wow.
That would be huge news.
Totally different.
But the implications would be totally different.
Right, because the entertainment industry kind of thrives on all this speculation and intrigue.
It does. It's like part of the game.
Yeah, yeah. But in other fields, it could seem unprofessional.
Yeah.
Or even a conflict of interest.
That's a great point. It really makes you think, are these situations unique to celebrities?
Right.
Or are we all just playing out our own versions of this?
Yeah, like our own crushes and connections.
Exactly.
It's like we're all part of this big web of relationships.
And maybe the next time we see a celebrity crush in the news, we'll remember this conversation.
I hope so.
And think about all those layers that we don't see, you know?
Right, the hidden stories.
Yeah, and the fact that these are real people with real emotions. Exactly. It's easy to forget that sometimes.
It is.
So, you know, this whole Robbi Jaworski, Chiu, Paulo Avelino thing, it might seem like just a juicy piece of gossip.
Yeah.
But it's also a reminder that, you know, celebrities are human too.
Absolutely.
They experience all the same stuff we do.
Yeah. They have crushes. They deal with relationship drama.
Right.
And they have to figure out how to live their lives with everyone watching them.
What do you guys think? Did this give you a new perspective on the whole Robbie, Kim, Paulo triangle? Let us know.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
And remember, next time you see a celebrity crush making headlines, think about the bigger picture, the stuff we don't see, and the fact that these are real people with real feelings.
It's a good reminder for all of us.
Thanks for listening.